It has literally never been easier to get started making music or producing beats than it is right now in 2023. In this video, I'm gonna show you my top 5 favorite free things that can help you get started as a producer. Granted, you already have a computer and a DAW. Now, if you don't have those things, I can link a few videos in the description that will walk you through those quickly. Hopefully, you have access to a computer or some sort of smartphone, and there are free DAWs out there that you can use like BandLab. But assuming you have those two things sorted already, let's get started on my top 5 free things that'll help you get started as a music producer in 2023. Let's get into it. Number 1, you need some kind of sounds. So you need sample packs, you need drums, you need loops. My best recommendation, and this is honestly kind of the sauce, I haven't seen anyone really talk about this, but I'm gonna show you guys. Go to beatstars.com, click on the search engine at the top left, type in the genre that you wanna make and change where it says tracks to sound kits, then go to price and take out the $1,200 and put in 0, and boom, you have literally endless free sample packs. Most of the time, these free packs, while free to download and use, they will ask for you to credit them 50% on BeatStars for using their loop. This is honestly a great way though to get some collaboration in, which we're gonna talk about a little bit later in the video. So moving on to number 2, and that is plugins. And we're gonna talk about some free plugins. The first one, which is Delay by Integradio. This is a really cool delay, glitch, granular plugin that does weird stuff to the audio that you're processing through it. It's really cool because it kind of emulates some of these really expensive guitar pedals that a lot of producers and loop makers and sample makers are using. They're like $500 pedals, and this does some similar stuff. Obviously not exact, but very, very similar to what you're getting with those really high-end premium pedals in a free plugin, which is awesome. Next is Valhalla's Supermassive. This is another echo plugin, but also can be used for just some really lush pad sounds, some really long reverbs. Next, we have Cymatics plugins, which they also have a lot of free sample packs as well, going back to the previous step. But if you go to their website and go to plugins, they have the Origin plugin, which is going to do a resampling effect, which is kind of like the Drake effect, the underwater effect. As well as a little bit of like lo-fi tape, distortion, movement, and chorus. It's honestly a great all-in-one free plugin. I'm surprised that it's free. They could have easily charged $100 for this plugin and a lot of people would have bought it. Other one that I really like is Space Light, which is another reverb plugin. It's a really great reverb plugin, and it honestly has quite a lot of parameters for being a free plugin. And then last but not least, I use this on every single beat. This is called Diablo Light. This is like a soft clipper, and it adds like punch and grit to your drums primarily. You can also use it for other things, but I put this on all of my drums and it sounds beefy. It sounds really, really good. Now this next one I don't see mentioned a whole lot, and it's honestly really fire. If you go to Baby Audio, they have a freebies section, and they have a couple cool, like very simple, small little switch plugins, which honestly, in my opinion, the simpler the better, especially when you're beginning. It's nice to not have a million knobs and buttons and faders and switches and lights to look at. Sometimes just like 1 or 2 clicks. Oh my God. Sometimes all you need is like a click or 2 to go through some presets, 1 button, 2 buttons. You find the things that sound good and you leave it at that. So they have Magic Dice, Pitch Drift, and Magic Switch, which you can go on their website and read all about. And if you scroll down, my favorite is actually their Baby Comeback, which is like a baby version of their more premium plugin, the Comeback Kid. There's literally thousands of free plugins out there. These are just some of my top picks that I would recommend to a beginner because it covers a lot of bases with effects. We could go on and on for hours about free plugins. But let's get to number 3, which is courses. Now this is kind of an odd one because most videos would tell you to go on YouTube to learn music production. You just start YouTubing, like how do you make a beat? How do you mix a track? How do you export stems? All of the things that you need to make, mix, and upload music online. I'm gonna go a step further and say that courses might be a little bit of a better option. Now, if we're gonna separate the two things, YouTube and courses, I would say YouTube is great for learning specific things. Like, I don't know what a good hi-hat pattern is for trap hip hop. And in the overall broad sense of just learning music production, taking a step-by-step tailored course on the basics to the intermediate to the advanced and going through every single module, in my opinion, that's just a better way to go about it. Now, obviously this could be seen as something that's not necessarily free. So Skillshare, you can get 30 days risk-free, which is awesome. This video isn't sponsored or anything like that. I just have seen the ads like a million times. I guarantee you can finish one course in 30 days if you just dedicate an hour or two every day and go through it and are diligent and commit the time. And then if you don't like it and you don't have, or if you just don't have the money to commit to paying past the 30 days, you can just cancel. Now, the fourth thing that I mentioned earlier is collaboration. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you want to go and hit up Drake's producer 40 or go hit up Timbaland and say, yo, I just started learning how to make beats. Do you want to collab? I'm saying meet people in your sphere, in your town, even in your city, wherever you live. Find other people that make music that are a little bit better than you, but aren't huge and have, you know, Billboard charting songs. As far as collaboration goes, it can be a really slept on thing to grow and build with people around you, people that are around the same skill level as you, and definitely people that live in your city or in your town who also are into music. Now, number 5 is social media. And I don't just mean your social media that you made like in high school and just, you know, has all of your family photos on it and your dog and your food and whatever you're doing over the weekend. I'm saying a specific social media account for your music. Now, you don't have to show your face, of course, if you don't want to, but just be very mindful of how you're putting yourself out there as far as your brand, because again, your face really is your brand. You as a person are your own brand. And so when you're putting out your music, you want to make sure you're staying true to that brand, but also being consistent in what you're doing. I would recommend starting an Instagram, a TikTok, and maybe even a YouTube channel. You don't necessarily have to do long form content. You can make reels for Instagram and then kind of recycle them into TikTok and then recycle them into YouTube reels. You can do short form content in a couple different ways. You can show your beats. You can do kind of what I'm doing if you want to reach more like other producers, and you can show people what you're learning, even just your process. And you're like not thinking like, oh, I don't really want to do tutorials because I'm still learning. You can just show people what you're learning. You can just bring people along for the ride, which is honestly really inspiring and really fun. If you do stick with it and you get really good and you go and start to make beat sales or sell kits or even eventually go full time in this, people who followed you from day one are going to feel really attached to your personal brand and your story because they know that they saw your first few beat uploads. But again, you don't have to put your face out there if you don't want to. It's just 9 times out of 10 going to work a lot better in your favor for connecting with people, building a community. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about community. It's about helping people. It's about making great music and being a positive influence in people's life. I hope that this video helped you and that you're able to learn something from it. And if you're just getting started with producing, feel free to DM me on Instagram any questions you might have. I can point you in the right direction. One thing I will say is that if you can Google it, Google it. And if you can't, then find someone to ask advice from. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to subscribe if you want to continue to see more content like this. If you don't like the content, please leave me a comment down below what I can do to improve. I'm always looking to grow, get better. I appreciate the feedback, positive or constructive. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out and God bless. See ya.